What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. In here with my co-host, my guy, the only Sacramento Kings fan I know, the winning Sacramento Kings. What's up, Spread Astaire? How you this morning?
Hey, John Morant told Malik Monk don't miss, and hey, he took his advice and knocked down those free throws. We get another win. We have a tough test tonight, but hey, even if we lose tonight, we're pretty happy about the way things have turned out with the Sacramento Kings. How you doing today? I know you had a lot
Man,
going on in Summerlin right now.
wow, man, it's crazy right now. So I got my 81-year-old grandmother's visiting in town, and so unfortunately, my son, my 8-year-old, came from the elementary school with some little bug. Thank God it's not COVID. It's like the flu or something, and it's the passed all around the house. Had me down on Monday. That's why we didn't do the show on Monday, but I was able to put together some of my little natural remedies and concoctions, and I got myself together pretty quick. But we're still trying to help Granny get hers together, a little bit. And also, my wife's having contractions, so our baby girl's due any day too. So it's a lot going on. So you guys be patient with us as we try to get these shows out. And then on top of that, as you know, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so it's the holiday. So it's a full plate for the man of the house this week.
Well, it sounds like you guys have a lot to be thankful for, and then yeah, we'll all
Yes,
know if we don't see you for a couple days, it'll probably be
yeah,
in time for some congratulations. But let's start talking about this college football playoffs.
yeah,
LSU, jumped over TCU, and
right.
this is a never-ending debate, right? The small school that's undefeated versus the big-name school that has a higher recruiting class and has played the tougher schedule but has suffered a loss. What did you think about that?
I feel like it was worthy. The only bad loss that LSU really has is the Tennessee game, but that's the thing that a lot of Horned Frogs fans and also Tennessee fans are going to hold over LSU. They had a bad game that game, but I think what happened with the committee, the way that they're viewing it is the win against Alabama trumps all. As we know,
Mhm.
Alabama was probably one or two is the top, most talented team in the country this year, returning Heisman Trophy winner at quarterback, and they were expected to be in the college football playoffs, and with LSU being able to knock them out, and also the way LSU's defense has played the last couple of weeks has been really impressive. And as you guys know, TCU and USC both struggle on the defensive side of the ball. They're offensive driven teams. Well, I think the committee sees the LSU's a little bit more balanced, and we got to be honest. LSU has a little bit more, name in the game over the last 3 to 5 years than these other two teams, TCU and USC and Tennessee, that are trying to get in. So I think that does go a long way with LSU in the name in college football. But I definitely think they deserve to be over TCU. TCU has a paper light schedule, and same with USC. USC really hasn't played anyone. They beat Utah. I mean, they lost to Utah by 1 point, but Utah just lost to Oregon. So USC plays Oregon though in the Pac-12 championship, so that's gonna kind of fix some things. And then we also know that, of course, LSU plays Georgia in the SEC championship, and that's gonna um, determine a lot of stuff because if LSU beats Georgia, they'll be the first two-loss team ever get into the championship, and a lot of people are talking about that they're gonna have two losses and still make the playoffs. And Brian Kelly's in a rebuilding year, and they're completely ahead of schedule. I could tell you, as an LSU guy, that the fan base is really excited and really happy, no matter what happens this year with the team.
As they should be. And we have a lot to talk about. So let's dive right in. Past, present,
Yeah,
and future is the segment. And of course, we always start with the past. The first thing we want to talk about is Iowa at Minnesota. Got that one home. How were you feeling about that game?
hey man, great victory for us on that one. As usual, the Iowa defense steps up. It looks like we were dead to the water. It was 10-10. Minnesota was driving, about to take the lead. And just another great play by, as always, an Iowa linebacker. Like, how many Iowa linebackers are in the NFL?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, kid makes the interception, takes it back. He was touched. If he took it back for a touchdown, but they said that he was touched after the pick when he was on the ground. So they took it back, but still I was able to drive. Kirk Ferentz does what he always does. Great game management, controls the ball to the very end, kicks the field goal as the time winds down, and we're able to get the straight out victory with Iowa.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we had a great Saturday. So I appreciate
Yeah,
you because obviously you cap them, I bet them. and I enjoy spending that cash. So hey, it's been
Don't
stakes
worry.
all week.
Hey, don't worry. NBA season is here.
Yes, it's been
Oh,
stakes all week at the Spread Astaire household. So thank you for
yeah,
that. Illinois
yeah,
plus 18 at Michigan. That was another one.
yeah.
Never in doubt, really. And
No,
a great performance by the Fighting Illini there to keep it close. But Michigan does get the win to set up that huge game this weekend. What were your thoughts when you saw Illinois really hanging tough there against one of the best teams in the country?
Illinois should have won this game money line. I actually took them for just a little bit, not much at all. Very small wager, not like a half a unit on them to win money line after I saw the way things were going. Their offense played really well. Brett Bielema did a great job. Did you hear his comments after the game? He kind of aired some things out. He was really pissed, and he said that he doesn't know if these games are fixed, if it's Vegas, or if it's just that they want the bigger name program to be undefeated. But it was very fishy what was going on with the officiating. You don't really hear coaches say that too much, And he said it at the press. He kind of, at the press, kind of let them have it about how he felt those refs cheated his kids in that Michigan game, and they did. If you saw that fourth down, it was just a horrible job by the refs. They let Michigan do such a clear offensive pass interference. It was ridiculous. The guy comes off the line and literally blocks two of the Illini defenders down the field 10 yards to clear a path for the slot receiver to run an out route. And it was just so blatant. They should have called offensive pass interference. They didn't. They end up allowing Michigan to get the first down, and Michigan goes on to win the game. Michigan, they're going to be in some real trouble if Blake Corum can't get back. He's hurt. I don't know if he's going to play against Ohio State. I saw Jim Harbaugh did a little bit of the same thing. Do you remember when Shanahan was in the Super Bowl and Terrell Davis got hurt and he was so hurt he couldn't even see? And he told him, I can't see, coach. And he was like, they're not going to believe the play's real if you don't go in. And he makes
Oh
us
yeah.
go in for one play and runs the play action. He did the same thing. Harbaugh does the same thing with Blake Corum. The guy's limping, man. He could barely move, and he goes in and tries to run a play action, play fake, so they could throw the ball deep. And the play was not successful, but we didn't see Corum anymore after that. I could tell how he limped off, that he wasn't coming back. He took a really hard lower leg hit, and he's their only real offense that they have. They have a really good receiver over there in uh, Ronnie Bell, but Ronnie Bell can't get the ball because I don't trust their quarterback as usual. Jim Harbaugh is having problems at quarterback in Michigan, and it's so strange to me because he's a quarterback, supposed to be a good recruiter. Um, you would think he would be able to sell guys on that.
Same
Coach
thing with
Andrew
Elway,
Luck.
though. Same thing with
Yeah,
Elway. What do they spend their whole career doing? Scouting opposing defenses. So
yeah,
these defensive players pop out of them because they're thinking, I wouldn't want to go against this guy. I got to stay away
right,
from that safety. That corner's good, right? So they can see
right.
defensive guys so good. They never even thought about quarterback because they were the quarterback. And I think Elway had the same issue. He can see
That's a
every
great
single
perspective.
defense, and so sometimes I think these former quarterbacks, while they can coach them, they can't see the talent. So that's
Yeah,
been
that's a
an
great
issue there
point.
for Michigan.
That's a great
Yeah.
point. That's a great point, G. I don't see them being able to hang with Ohio State at all next week. Well,
Yeah, so
this
we'll see.
weekend coming up.
We'll see
Yeah,
how that goes. I'll be rooting for Michigan, but I don't think they're going to get it done either.
yeah,
Washington State played Arizona. That was one of the few that we lost, right? It was
yeah.
tough. We didn't go undefeated. You couldn't parlay every single pick and win $1 million. We had a great Saturday regardless. What did you think there? As Arizona, they made a late push. Almost, gave us some hope there, but couldn't get it done. What did you see there with the Wildcats?
They just started too late. And the thing that I didn't realize when I was capping this game that I saw immediately after two series of offense for Arizona was this guy, Jake Dickert, is one of my favorite guys to bet with Washington State. He's a great defensive mind, and I should have factored in the fact that he sees Deloria play every snap he's played in college until he left Washington State because Dickert was the defensive coordinator even when he wasn't the head coach. So he became the head coach later after, the head coach left because he didn't want to take the vaccine. So Dickert was very familiar with how Delora plays, and he had a defense that was prepared for him. They made him turn the ball over, and he also showed what we already knew that he made a good decision by going to get Cam Ward because Cam Ward controlled that game in the first half, and they could not get him off the field at all. Washington State built a big lead in the first half and just held on the rest of the way. Arizona has a hell of a wide receiver over there, man. That guys need to keep a eye on. This kid is going to be the real deal. When I say that he's a real playmaker, part a bad handicap because I did not factor in how familiar Washington State's defense and their head coach was with Delora.
All right. Yeah, that was a rough one, but we can't win them all. We did win most, though, including this next game. USC, I don't really call it the Freeway Series. I can't remember what the name of it is when USC
Yeah,
plays UCLA. But
yeah,
boy, that one came right down to the wire. But
yeah,
we got it done. And
yeah,
UCLA, talking about late pushes like Arizona, right? UCLA
yeah,
made a late push to make us sweat. USC
yeah,
and Lincoln Riley get it done. Lincoln
yeah,
Riley, once again, I mean, you talk about him and Harbaugh can get together, right? Because he can't
yeah.
scout defensive players to save his life.
No,
Once again,
no.
USC can't get a stop, but the offense is just too strong. And of course, USC has the big game against Notre Dame this weekend. What were your thoughts when you saw USC get the win?
Just the greatness of their quarterback, Caleb Williams. He's going to be the real deal. You know, he's one of the better players that we've seen come through college football. Unbelievable numbers. He threw one interception all year to like 40 touchdown passes. Just a great job. Great job by Lincoln Riley of coaching that kid since Oklahoma and bringing him over to USC and also just making him a really good quarterback. He has a really bright future. Um, UCLA is a really good team. DTR laid it all out on the line, man. That kid was trying to kill himself to win that game, man. I was really worried about him. He was taking some really big hits to try to get that game for the Bruins, and he played his tail off. Unfortunately, threw an interception at the end, but and they couldn't get it done. But it was just a really entertaining game. I text my guy Doug Castaneda over at the Win during the game, and I said, man, you guys could have put up 100 points for the total. You guys still would have lost this one. He was laughing. He was saying, "We got creamed on that. All the books got creamed on the over in that game. It was no number that they could have put up that would have been safe in that game. Two of the most impressive offenses in college football that we saw, and it just also proved more to me that USC, I think, would have a lot of problems with LSU on a neutral field, and that's why I like LSU a little bit more in the college football playoff rankings.
I mean, Lincoln Riley took the Big 12 to USC there, and you're not going
Yeah,
to be able to win a big. You can win all these regular season games, and you can run your division. It's going to be really tough in the Final Four to
yeah,
win without a defense. But hey, it's his first year there. You should be able to get the talent there. There's plenty of talent out here in California. Right?
yeah.
We want it. Hey, there's nothing better than living in LA, right? I mean,
Long as you don't live downtown.
yeah, but no, yeah, we'll see how that one goes though. But so far, Lincoln Riley has done exactly what we expected with that offense. I got to take my L here. I gave out the Vikings. I absolutely loved it, and I felt like this was like a pros versus Joe's game where
Yeah,
the Joes won because everyone that I listened to that was sharp, we all love the Vikings. The statistics love the Vikings. And everybody, America's team, the public came in on the Cowboys, kept the money about even, kept the line didn't really move much all week, and the Cowboys absolutely slaughtered them. So it's funny. So I do a model, and it's very simple, but one of my major inputs, of course, is point differential and the average on the season. So before the game, Minnesota was averaging winning every game by 3 points. After just that one game, now they're negative. They're like minus zero point
yeah.
0.5 for the year because they got smoked so bad. I was looking forward to watching that one in the afternoon. The Raiders ended up being on my main TV
Yeah.
by even the second quarter as we knew what was going to happen there. So tough pick by me. We're going to have a new segment today, but I can definitely say bad handicap there. Dallas Cowboys get it done.
Yeah, that was not interesting at all. They got dominated on the line, but that kind of sets up for my ball and parlay. I like the Vikings this week, and I'll talk about why. And a lot of it has to do with the way they were manhandled this week. The game was so boring. I was listening to some of the commentators. I had no idea that the Kevin O'Connell who coaches Minnesota used to be the Kevin O'Connell that was broadcasting the NFL games. I just realized
Yeah.
that. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I never realized that, man. I didn't realize he was the same guy that was commentating on the game. So he's had a full career, kind of Steve Kerr type of career where he's done the broadcasting side and now as a coach. But just the Vikings, it kind of snowballed on them, man. They couldn't block the defense for the Cowboys, and after that D line got crunk and got rolling, they just were real beast, man. And I think Minnesota's offensive line should be really determined this week to kind of show its face because they were really embarrassed this past week.
And the same thing happened to Dallas. And so I think one thing I want to do before we get involved in that one, Christian Darrisaw means so much to that offense. Kirk Cousins had no time to throw. And as great as
Yeah,
Justin Jefferson is, if your quarterback's on the ground within 2 seconds of the ball being snapped, it's tough to get it
yeah,
done. So, hey, we'll take our L there. We win more than we lose, but that was one that I definitely lost on. The Eagles took on the Colts, and boy, I thought the Jeff Saturday love was just going to be through the roof, and I couldn't wait. I mean, I thought the Eagles might lose, and I'm thinking, okay, Saturday's going to be a Coach of the Year candidate. The Eagles, after an 8-0 start, right? The whole town's going to be in shambles because let's be honest, there's no fan base that handles losing better than the Philadelphia fan base, right? I mean,
right.
they're ready to give up. The slightest hint of adversity, they turn on their guys. Jalen Hurts gets it done though with I don't know, I want to say an MVP caliber performance, but that's a winning performance, right?
Yeah,
You have a tough game. Your team's not playing the best, but you get the win because you make the play when it needed to get made. So I actually thought that was a nice character building win for the Eagles. I think the Colts have a great roster outside of the quarterback, so I'm not necessarily that surprised that they kept it close. But overall, I think if you're an Eagles fan or in that Eagles building, that's the type of win that this team needs. I mean, you don't need to stomp teams 45-20 every week. Let's go ahead and get a close win, make some clutch plays. Have to be feeling good if you're an Eagles fan.
yeah. I was really impressed by both teams actually in this game. As you know, we took the Colts +7. We were cast that very easy. That was never in doubt.
Right.
I did take the Eagles second half, and that was in doubt, but they were able to
Mm-hmm.
come through. Great job by Coach Sirianni as usual, man. I love the way he called those plays at the end, where he allowed Jalen Hurts to use his feet. That draw where he walked in the end zone was a fabulous call because everyone was looking for him to throw it. And as you and I know, it's very hard. The windows get so tight down at the goal line, and the Colts play one of the best zone defenses that we've seen in the NFL. And so it was really tight down there. He didn't have a lot of places to put the ball, and just a great play call by him. Great job by their offensive line led by the Kelsey, older Kelsey, Jason Kelsey,
Yeah,
with a
Jason
great
Kelsey.
great block that opened up everything for the kid. Did you see with Sirianni after they won? He goes and yells to the crowd, "This was for Frank Reich."
Yeah, yeah.
He's
And if you think,
yeah, yeah. He's taking on a lot of Philadelphia attitude. I like Sirianni. He reminds me a lot of Sean Payton, how he kind of took on the New Orleans attitude
mm-hmm.
after being there and kind of became a part of the city. And I like what he's doing, man. He's a sharp guy, man.
And Sirianni knows without Frank Reich, he might be a position coach somewhere, right? Frank Reich's the one that
Right,
elevated him. So I
right,
know that
right.
win meant a lot to him.
Yeah,
Another one I missed, my Steelers, my guy Mike Tomlin, I couldn't get it
yeah.
done. The Bengals offense was just too much. And for the Steelers to have a chance, they really had to control that Bengals offense because this team isn't built to come from behind. I Pickett, you can argue there, but right now he's not really at the level he needs to be. My pushback, if I'm arguing with myself here, that offensive line, it's going to be really tough for any quarterback that's not mobile to succeed behind that. So when you have a guy that wants to sit in the parking and throw darts, it's really tough for him. Also, they can't get the run game going. I think Najee Harris, a lot of people are down on him. I think he's been playing through an injury all year. At this point, it might be wise to shut him down. He's still a guy you invested a lot of draft capital in. It's obvious he's not the same guy that he was last season there. Bengals look pretty good, though, and that's a statement win against a team that beat them in week one. What did you take away from that one?
I told you that for some reason, man, the Bengals really play well against the Steelers. I don't know why. I don't know that maybe the matchups, even though they were missing Jamar Chase, they still were able to do whatever they want to do offensively. Great game by Joe Burrow. I, Kenny Pickett is a good player, man. They have the right guy there because at first I wanted them to take Malik Willis. They picked the right guy. Pickett's going to be a star there. He's going to be a folk hero in Pittsburgh. I like his heart. I like his ability to scramble. He's a lot more athletic than I thought he was. I knew he was at Pittsburgh. He used to run around a little bit, and they had some RPOs when he used to break some, a couple times a 40, 50-yard run. But I thought it was because, he's going against college guys. But his speed translates to the NFL, whereas in Baker Mayfield didn't. And I think the pick is going to be a really good player, man. And then he has some weapons on the outside that he's going to grow with. Both the receivers are young, and he seems like he's developing a really good relationship with their first round pick. The Pickens is something we'll be looking for in the coming years, and this is just a down year for the Steelers. There people didn't expect much, and I think it's just a development year more for Kenny Pickett this year for them. Look for them to make more noise next year.
Uh,
Jalen Warren
yeah.
needs more carries. He needs more
Great
carries.
player. And right now, I
Yeah,
would just focus everything on him and let Harris get helpful. Then you might have a nice 1-2 punch that a lot of teams have been using, kind of like the Dallas Cowboys do. The Chiefs get the win over the Chargers. Patrick Mahomes is just too much to me right now. I know
yeah,
there's a lot of love for Josh Allen, and I'm not trying to denigrate Josh Allen in any way, but to me, Patrick Mahomes is the best player in football, and he showed it once again on prime time. Boy, that's got to be tough when you're a team like Justin Herbert or anyone going against these guys, and you have a great game, and it's just not enough because that guy just gets it done no matter what. Loving what I'm seeing from Mahomes. Of course, they didn't cover, but it was a great game and a great win for the Chiefs.
yeah. We were on the right side. Remember, we had the Chargers. At least I
Yeah.
told you to take the Chargers plus 5.5. I don't
And
know
then I
why to
went
look.
back with the Chiefs money line in a parlay with just grabbed an NBA team. So I middled it. It was
Nice,
great. Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
great. So yeah, the little twerp knows how to play Kansas City. His days are numbered over there, Coach Staley. I'm sure he'll get picked up somewhere as a defensive quality control guy or defensive coordinator. He's a sharp kid. He just isn't ready for head coaching. He's not doing Justin Herbert any justice at this time. But Justin Herbert also has to hold some accountability as well. He got the ball back with an opportunity and he threw an interception. And we saw what Mahomes does when it counts. Mahomes does not get the love he deserves. He should win the MVP this season. And not only that, he's an all-time great at the tender age of 26.
Yeah.
And people need to recognize this. The guy is 14-0 on the road in his career in the AFC West. The AFC West just fell down this year. Before that, it's been the best division or one of the top two divisions in the whole NFL over the past 5 years, at least while he's been the quarterback. And he's never lost on the road. He's going and winning in Denver every year. He's going to win at the Chargers every year. He's going to beat the Raiders every year. And that's pretty impressive from a young kid. A lot of people are saying the difference between him and Herbert is the coaching, and I couldn't disagree more because we saw what Andy Reid did before he had Mahomes. He never won a Super Bowl. He had a lot of good teams, but he was the guy to put him over the top because of Mahomes' clutch play. Mahomes is just an all-time great man, and it's a joy watching him play football. Really.
All right, let's move on. And we got a lot to talk about here in the present. Let's start with the Maui Invitational.
Yeah.
Arkansas going to take on San
Yeah.
Diego State tonight. What are your thoughts?
This is going to be a really entertaining game. I'll be very interested to see how Arkansas responds because they got jobbed last night against Creighton. They got a really bad whistle. They could have beaten Creighton pretty easily if they wouldn't have got so many whistles against them. So I'll be just really interested to see how they handle it. This is the consolation game. Arizona and Creighton are playing for the championship, so I want to see how they respond to it. If they come out fired up, if they come out trying to win the game, or if they're just going through the motions due to the fact um, that they lost and were screwed the prior day. But both these teams are really good teams. They both could have a lot of really good players. I'd have to take Arkansas in this game, and I'd also look to the over because both of them can score at really high levels. So it's going to be a very interesting game, but I'd definitely be on Arkansas.
Let's talk about the final Arizona versus Creighton. This is going to be a great one. What do you think?
Going to be a really good game. I'm not betting against Arizona against anybody. Only team I'd probably take against Arizona would be like Houston. Houston and Arizona to me are the best two teams in college basketball. Arizona is so deep. They have so many really good players, man. They got a couple guys who started last year who can't even start on the new team this year. So, and it's all orchestrated by Kirk Krischer, great point guard, very heady, gets all the guys in the right position. They get up tempo and really run. And they make shoot the three at a high percentage. They got big guys who can bang. They're just a really well-rounded team. So I'll definitely be on Arizona. -2.5 to me is a layup. That's a giveaway. So we're going to be all over Arizona.
All right, I'm looking at this right now. I got -3. I'll still go ahead and take that. And then you said on the other one, Arkansas is a pick, right? You just like Arkansas there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Arkansas is going to blow San Diego State out if they come with it on their mind. They're a much more talented team. They have a kid over there, Black, that plays point guard. You're going to see him in the NBA make some noise. He's a 6'7" freshman. He played wide receiver most of his life. He just started playing basketball 2 years ago, and he's a natural. He's a natural, man. He's a natural. So watch for him, Anthony Black.
All right, let's talk tomorrow. We got some interesting games on tap. First, the Bills and the Lions. I'm going back and forth on this one. The numbers are telling me to take the Lions, but this seems like a smash spot for the Bills. And do I really want to take a team with a really bad defense against one of the best offenses in the NFL? Right now, I haven't got involved in this one. I think it's my least favorite game on the board tomorrow. But what are your thoughts here when the Bills take on the Lions?
I'd probably be looking Lions first half on this game.
Okay.
Just because I know how the Lions are. They come out really prepared. They always play good in the first half. They tend to give away games in the second half. And as you've known, um, the Bills have been starting slow. I know they're not going to take the Lions too serious. You know that. Like they're going to be looking like this Detroit. So they'll kind of be going through the motions probably until the second quarter, until the Lions hit them in the mouth, and then they realize like, hey, we're in a game, and then they'll probably pull away in the fourth quarter. So if anything, I like the Lions first half on this game.
All right, Lions first half. That might be a fun way to get involved. Obviously, I'll be up, getting excited, getting ready for the holiday.
Yeah,
I really like the
Thanksgiving.
play here on the next one, and we haven't talked about it yet because we both have a lot going on during this shortened week. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts. My thoughts is this is just way too many points for a divisional rivalry game, right? Let's take out the fact that it's on Thanksgiving. The Giants, I know that they lost for me last week. I had them over the Lions, but regardless, just throw two teams out, just Team X versus Team Y. In a divisional game, 9.5 is too much. Give me the New York Giants. What do you think?
I'm on the Giants. This went up to 10 now. I'll be on the Giants for sure with you because this is the factor that makes it just easy for me to go with the Giants. The Cowboys are going to be smelling themselves. They just won 40-3 against Minnesota. They're going to be at practice all week, going through the motions, thinking about how good they are. McCarthy's already a laid back type of guy. So they're going to not practice hard this week. You know they're not, man, because they looked so good this past week. Whereas the Giants, with a great coach like Daboll, have so many teaching points now after being upset at home and embarrassed by Detroit. No one wants to lose to Detroit, and no one wants to especially be blown out by Detroit at home. So the Giants are going to be really pumped up for this game. They're going to run Saquon Barkley. They're not going to let their quarterback get smacked like the Vikings did by not running the ball and just continue to drop back and pass. And Dayball is going to shorten this game with ball control, running the ball, short passing, quick passes. He's a very smart guy. He'll probably get his quarterback also involved in the running game a little bit with some RPOs and with some just straight quarterback sweeps and things like that to get the pass rush off. And he also probably go with some screens as well to go against that pass rush. So even though the Giants are banged up at wide receiver, I trust Dayball, but most of all, I like the spot. I like the fact that the Giants are coming off getting embarrassed at home, and I love that the Cowboys are coming off blowing off the Vikings, who were the number one seed in the NFC, so they're feeling really good about themselves. So we're both going to be on the Giants this week.
Yeah, just place it right now. Buy low, sell high, right? Selling high, and the Cowboys buying low. In the evening game, I'm surprised you like the Vikings here. I understand what we're going there for. I mean, to be honest, the Patriots kind of I don't want to say they're getting lucky because they practice special teams and the other team doesn't, right? I mean, at the end of the day, like it's luck, but a lot of your luck comes from preparation, and I thought that was it. But they did squeak out a win over the Jets. My concern here is we saw the Vikings struggle with that pass rush, and I believe that Judon and Bill Belichick can also put similar pressure on the Vikings. But you like Minnesota to bounce back. Actually, we'll save that one for the Ball and Parlay, right?
So we'll save for Ball and Parlay. Yeah.
Let's talk about the other game because that will be on, and I have two TVs, right? So I got to have some action on this one. And when it comes to college football, I just go ahead and tell your picks. I see Mississippi State taking on Ole Miss, a good old rivalry game. Who do I
Yep.
take here to win some money before some dinner?
It's gonna be raining. This game always goes under every year. They always have the lineup where it's like about 60, 65 points. And as you know, both teams are really high scoring, but every time they meet up, it always goes under. I'm about to tell you, I think the under has hit in this game. Yep. 16-5 in the last 21 meetings, 8-2 in the last 10 meetings. So we're going with the under on this game. It's going to be bad conditions. It's going to be a lot of pride involved because most of these kids played against each other coming up. This is the battle for Mississippi, the Egg Bowl, I think they call it, or something like that. But
Mhm.
these guys really fight hard when they play each other. They dislike each other. It's one of the best rivalries in college football, and both of the teams run the same offenses. So just always just a good battle. So expect the under to hit in this game. I like under 61.
All right, just place that one right now. Friday, we got Tulane taking on Cincinnati. What are your thoughts there?
I'll be on Cincinnati. Cincinnati's a well-coached team. This is going to be for the conference title. It's going to be a really big game. Cincinnati's at home. Tulane played really well last week, but they're facing a different type of animal now when they face the Bearcats. The Bearcats play defense. Luke Fickle always has those guys ready to play. So now they're facing a mirror of themselves. They were able to dominate SMU last week because they play sound offense and defense in Tulane. They run the ball and they play D. And whereas in SMU just want to wing it and throw it around, they're not going to see that with Cincinnati. Cincinnati's coming to play ball, so they're going to try to beat them at their own game, and I don't see them having much success at that. So we're going to definitely go with Cincinnati. I'm going to go money line though, because the short number -1.5 isn't worth the risk. We'll just lay the juice -130 and
Yeah,
take money line.
right now on Bookmaker -1, -110, or I just take the money line at
Yeah,
-115. Jumping in there
yeah,
with you right now as well,
yeah,
and that'll give me
Cincinnati.
some fun on Friday. One more for Friday: Baylor taking on Texas. Texas, boy, having a nice year this season. Let's see if they can build on it. And Baylor is always tough. It's a lot of points, right, in a game that we know that both these teams are going to be fired up for. 8.5 here for Baylor. What do you think?
It's going to be rainy and windy in Austin. I'm going with Baylor in the points in this game. I trust David Ronda to have something together. They were really brokenhearted from that TCU loss. TCU, great job at the end of that game. Did you see how they executed that? They ran the play, clock's
Oh, that
running,
was awesome.
kid gets
Yeah.
in. Hey, that's just props to their head coach. He had those guys so prepared for that, so they were able to execute and they were able to knock out Baylor. But Baylor really played them well. It's too many points. I know Texas is good and they're just coming out blowing out Kansas and everything, but Quinn Ewers is about to face a real defense when he plays against Baylor. They're going to have to run the ball, and I don't see them being able to just run all over Baylor. Baylor's 3-0 against the spread in the last three meetings against these guys. They're 5-1-1 against the spread in their last seven meetings in Texas. I just really like David Ronda, and I trust him to keep it within 8.5 points for sure. So look for Baylor to cover and maybe pull out the outright.
All right, throwing that one in right now as well. Let's keep making money here this holiday weekend. Let's move to the future. You got a couple winners for us. What
Yeah.
do you got?
Well, I put two on there, but the main thing was we're going with Arizona. They're at 1,600, 16-1 to win the national championship. Right now, my Houston Cougars are at 6-1. They're 600 plus 600 to win it. It's going to come down to those two teams. Duke and Kentucky are way too young. I know they're going to get better as the year goes by, but the only opposition that I see to Houston and Arizona is Baylor, because Baylor's got a nice mix of young guys and veterans, and a great coach who's used to winning too. Um, but North Carolina is also going to be really good this year. They're ranked number one, as you see right now. But for some reason, still with them being ranked number one, Houston is considered the favorite to win the title at 6-1 because of the type of defense and rebounding. So I'm going to be on both of those tickets, and hopefully I get those two in the finals where I can't lose.
All right, yeah, it sounds like a great spot, and it's two teams that we've been really impressed with so
Yeah,
far this season. It's time for a new segment here: bad
yeah.
beat, bad break, or bad handicap. What are your thoughts on the James Madison?
We lost that game, and it was a bad break. It was not a bad handicap because um, James Madison turned the ball over 4 times in the first half. They gave up 2 defensive touchdowns. They also fumbled a kickoff within their inside their own 5 and gave Georgia State the ball at the 5-yard line. So they gave up 28 points um, to turnovers, and 2 of them were actually touchdowns by the defense. And still, with all that said, they won by 2 points. They had their 5th turnover driving with 8 minutes left. Todd Centeio fumbles the ball trying to give it to the running back on an RPO. He drops the running back, doesn't take it. It's a mix up in communication. They fumble and give Georgia State back the ball. Georgia State drives down. At this time, we're up 6 points, driving to add on to it. He fumbles, end up with Georgia State goes and covers. But if anyone watched that game, they know that the only reason we lost was the turnovers. You can never factor in turnovers. You can never factor in defensive touchdowns. And Georgia State scored 2 defensive touchdowns in the first half. They also got a fumble, like I said, on special teams where they set them up at the 5-yard line for another touchdown. So we were definitely on the right side. And with all of that said, with 5 turnovers, James Madison still won by 2. So that's why we say it's very important for you guys to watch these games. We're going to get off into these more as the year goes by so you guys can understand the difference between a bad beat, a bad break, or a bad handicap. And this definitely was just a bad break.
All right, let's go back to one of our favorite segments, kick the damn extra point. And boy, a coach that I really like, hey, shows you the difference, right? They always say winning's a deodorant. Well, hey, a lot of your flaws can come out when things are not going well. And that's the case with the Los Angeles Rams this year. Why were you upset with one of Sean McVay's decision this week?
Sean McVay is a clown, and he's been a clown for a long time. He's a smart clown, though. As long as you're winning in football, it covers up, as you said, a lot of things. It's the deodorant for a lot of your misgivings. And if you remember, he was trying to cut Cam Akers at the beginning of the season. Do you remember that? That's
Yeah.
all we heard was that uh, he was on the block and he was leaving and he was out. And not this week, he surprisingly cuts Darrell Henderson. What has Darrell Henderson done to get cut by the Rams? He it's no room to run the ball because their line sucks. When Cam Akers comes in, he can't run the ball either. He spoke all these things about how Darrell Henderson was a team player and all of these things, and now he cuts him. Why do you think he cut him? Something personal again. He got in his feelings. Something happened behind the scenes that we don't know that hasn't been released to the press. And you cannot be a coach who you base all your decisions off emotions. You're not sitting back thinking about the big picture and what do these guys mean to this team and how does this look to the other team members. That first you were talking about cutting Cam and now you come back and you cut Darrell Henderson. You guys won a Super Bowl last year and this year you're not even going to make the playoffs. You're a losing team now 1 year after winning the Super Bowl, which makes your Super Bowl in LA look so flaky and paid off like everyone already thinks it is. So uh, just simply with the fact that you surprisingly cut this guy for nothing, he's done nothing but be a team player. He was drafted in the first round. You ended up getting Cam Akers the next year and putting him behind him. And then you have him guy playing special teams. Then sometimes he starts, sometimes he gets 20 carries, sometimes he does. All he's done is go out there and play for you, and then you cut him like this. It's just embarrassing, and it's just a bad job of being a head coach. Sean McVay, kick the damn extra point.
All right. Too bad there for Darrell Henderson. And I think some team will be happy to add him when they're making a playoff push. So now it is time for the Ball and Parlay. Let's start with you. We talked about it earlier. We're going to go to Thanksgiving here. And you like the Minnesota Vikings. Let everyone know why.
Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings on this game, and I think that the -2.5 is a very doable number for them. The Patriots are going to struggle on offense, regardless of whoever they play against. As we know, Mac Jones just isn't that good. And I think that the Vikings are going to be really fired up after really being embarrassed. You guys know that anytime a professional team in any sport is embarrassed, whether it's baseball, basketball, or especially on football, that they give prime effort the next time that they come out. I expect that O'Connell, who's a really sharp guy, makes some adjustments. I think we see a lot more of Cook this week. I think we see a lot more of Justin Jefferson this week. They're going to show up. As you know, the Patriots play man-to-man defense. He's going to get Justin Jefferson in some matchups on the Patriots, and he's going to take advantage of it. I think that the Vikings are going to win this game. I know the Patriots have a great pass rush and a great defense. I just don't trust them to be able to score enough offensive points. Minnesota is one of the best offensive teams in the league. They only scored 3 points this prior week. This week they're going to put up more points. As you said, the Patriots could not score against the Jets. They scored and won because of a great play by their returner, who was a star at University of Houston, Marcus Jones. He used to do that for the Cougars all the time. He's a real playmaker. He's a great player. But I just really like on a short week with all of the things going against them, with everybody's talking about how they're a fraud, that the Vikings step up this week, and I think they get it done. I think that the Vikings cover these points, and I think that they shock everyone. It's a lot of public money going to be on the Patriots. I'm going to fade them. I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings on Thanksgiving -2.5.
The Giants is where I'm going here. I love getting all those points in a division game, and just like you said, just like the Vikings got embarrassed, the Giants also, expected to win that game against the Lions at home. That's a tough loss. Plenty of opportunities, like you mentioned, for Dayball to go ahead and teach. I believe in Dayball as a coach, and I do believe the Giants, may not have the talent advantage, but they're going to have the coaching advantage and the strategy advantage here. So that's it for our Thanksgiving winners. We're going to be looking for no points in Mississippi State, and we're going to be looking for the Vikings and the Giants to go ahead and run up the score. So there you have it. We're back for the Wagering World. It's a weird week, but we still got you the winners.
Yeah, we got you guys the winners. We're gonna try to get back with you guys too on Friday and set you guys up for the weekend. Hopefully we'll be counting some of this money on Friday morning, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. We really appreciate you guys' support. Make sure when you guys tune in to hit the like button. I see we get over 100 or so views every episode, but we're only getting a few likes. You guys, when you tune in, hit that like button. It helps us a lot. Do this out the kindness of my own heart. We don't get paid a quarter for this. This is just us spending our time because we enjoy talking sports with you guys. So follow my guy Spread at Spread Astaire. Follow me at 5 Star in Vegas. Spell out the 5. Happy holidays to you all. We'll see you guys on Friday.